First of all, I really appreciate people coming out in the heat. It doesn't matter where else you could have been, but you're in the hot spot today. And it's our intention to put government in the hot spot. So it's just really good to have you here and taking the heat. We're in a life and death struggle. A struggle where someone else continually changes the rules. They change them for their own benefit and to our detriment. In our attempts to be prosperous, we are faced with illogical and frustrating obstacles. Perhaps you have heard it said, perhaps you have said it. This means war, and it's not a war we've declared, but government's declared on us. As Thomas Jefferson declared, government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. Are you ready to withdraw your consent? We are gathered here today to stand for what is right against all odds. We are gathered to protest every enemy of prosperity for America, and protest we shall until our voices are heard and respected. Let us consider for a moment, what is prosperity? Prosperity is the end result of time, energy, and capital applied to natural resources on your property. I'm going to repeat that. Prosperity is the end result of time, energy, and capital applied to the natural resources on your property. Who are the enemies of prosperity? Those who interfere with the efficient use of your time and energy by ridiculous and unnecessary bureaucratic regulations are enemies of your prosperity. Those who drain off your working capital with endless bureaucratic nonsense are enemies of your prosperity. Those who prevent the development of your natural resources are enemies of your prosperity. True prosperity cannot exist until you are free. Free from mind and numbing regulations. Free from confiscation of the fruit of your labor. And free from the devaluation of your earnings and savings by the debasement of your currency. Do you want to be prosperous? How many want to be prosperous? Hey! You must own property and be free to work the property you own. You must be free of the insidious tax of inflation. You must be free from the insatiable appetite of government for more and more of your earnings and savings. You must have public servants that are committed to defending your lives, liberty, and property. Not bureaucrats and officials that want to share your property with others. Tell those who claim to represent you in the halls of government that those who work should be better off than those who won't. And if your representatives cannot hear you, replace them with someone who can. The only alternative to prosperity is to be poverty-stricken and ultimately homeless. You must fight. Use every tool at your disposal and never give up. If you give up, Marxist socialist parasites will still be feasting on the property you leave when you die. Your children and grandchildren will rightly curse you as they endure the burdens you have placed upon them. Let me remind you what our forefathers here in Oregon declared when they achieved statehood in 1859, 83 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution of the State of Oregon says, quote, "We declare that all men, when they form a social compact, are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. And they have at all times a right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper." End quote. Think about that. Think about that. If they still live today, our current state and local officials would be shaking in their boots. When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. Who's afraid now? I challenge you to educate yourself and equip yourself. Don't sit on the sidelines saying, what can I do? Everyone can do something. Together we can do great things. Prove to your children and grandchildren that this is still the land of the free and the home of the brave. They will forever thank you as you secure the blessings of liberty to your posterity. In closing, let me remind you that the purpose of government is to protect your life, liberty, and property. We have 5 city council members who are the subject of a recall because they have done that very thing. They desperately need your no votes to continue working for your prosperity. If you live in the city, oh, I know some of you swallow the courier hook, line, and sinker. I can't say anything about that. But if you live in the city, be sure to turn your no vote in before 8 o'clock at the courthouse on Tuesday night.